Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or tips you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Monday at noon, 3 and 6, and again is re-aired later throughout the weekend with the other weekday broadcast replays. Today is January 15th, 2017, and now the news at noon.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a 40-year-old woman was found dead Saturday morning in the 1500 block of Florida Road, County Road 240, in Durango. Commander Jacob Dunlap with the Durango Police Department said officers responded about 7:15 a.m. to reports of a potential unattended death. The woman, whose name was not released pending notification of family, did not appear to have any significant injuries, Dunlap said. He said no foul play is suspected in the woman's death. Our preliminary thoughts are that she might have perished from exposure, Dunlap said. There did not appear to be any foul play or assault. An autopsy is scheduled for the middle of next week.
The Journal reported on the new Cortez City Government website. The City of Cortez's new website is up and running, and staff hope the upgrade will be friendlier to residents and visitors alike. It's at a workshop on Tuesday. City Marketing and Events Coordinator John Brooks presented the new site to council members, highlighting some new features such as a more prominent search bar and professional photos of the Cortez area. Before the new design launched on Monday, a week ago, the city had already begun adding new things to the site, including a live stream of all council meetings. Brooks said he and the city's technology staff are proud of the new site, but they will continue to look for ways to improve it. One of the most obvious changes to the website is a rotating set of photos that make up the background of its home page, featuring Main Street, Sleeping Ute Mountain, and other local landmarks. Brooks said he wanted the site to make Cortez look good for new visitors considering a trip there. Part of what Shane Hale asked me to do is create a marketing type of feel, as well as functionality for our citizens, he said. We hopefully have accomplished that goal. The website's search bar, formerly a small image on the left of the screen, is now displayed prominently in the center of the homepage. Brooks pointed out a few other features he hopes will make the site more user-friendly, including an accessible calendar and emergency alert registration. The live stream is still available under the Agendas and Minutes tab, but it's now accessible from the homepage as well. City Council members said they liked the new site. Mayor Karen Sheik particularly praised the new options under the Library tab, which include a direct link to the resource-heavy site Colorado Virtual Library. As the website gets more use, Brooks said he hopes to add more photos for the background. A link to the city's Facebook page is still a work in progress, and he said he hopes to connect to Twitter as well eventually. The Cortez website can be found at cityofcortez.com.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a man with an outstanding arrest warrant out of New Mexico who allegedly made threats to police Saturday afternoon has been identified as 41-year-old Mark Lindsay. Commander Jacob Dunlap with the Durango Police Department said Lindsay called dispatch at 1:45 p.m. asking officers to arrest him at College Drive and Main Avenue. Officers didn't immediately go down there, so he called back a few minutes later and reiterated to send officers, Dunlap said. He said he wasn't going to jail and he wanted to shoot it out with the cops. Police traced the call to the Central Business District and made a reverse 911 call urging businesses to be on the lookout for a man wearing jeans and a brown Carhartt sweater. Eastbound traffic at Camino del Rio and College Drive was temporarily closed as officers searched for the suspect. Dunlap said employees at the Orr House told police the suspect had been drinking there and making threats. They said he wanted to shoot the cops, Dunlap said. The La Plata County Sheriff's Office assisted with the search, and a deputy recognized the suspect outside of Steamworks, 801 East 2nd Avenue, at about 3:25 p.m. Police basically circled downtown to find him, Dunlap said. Another deputy was close by, and they approached him and took him into custody. Dunlap said Lindsay, who has ties to the Durango community, was unarmed. The outstanding arrest warrant was for battery against a household member.
The Cannabis.co reported on the federal point of view that guns and grass don't mix. The federal government says grass and guns don't mix, and that is putting gun owners who use marijuana and the strongly pro-gun rights administration of President Donald Trump in a potentially uncomfortable position. As gun-loving Pennsylvania becomes the latest state to operate a medical marijuana program, with the first dispensary on track to begin sales next month, authorities are warning patients that federal law bars marijuana users from having guns or ammunition. They're going to have to make a choice, said John T. Adams, president of the Pennsylvania District Attorneys Association. They can have their guns or their marijuana, but not both. That's the official line, but the reality of how the policy might be enforced in Pennsylvania and other states is a little muddier. That includes the question of whether people who already own guns might have to surrender them instead of just being prohibited from making new purchases. The political sensitivity was underscored Friday when Pennsylvania regulators reversed themselves and announced its registry of medical pot patients will not be available, as was previously planned, through the state's law enforcement computer network. State laws allowing medical or more recently recreational use of pot have long been at odds with the federal prohibition on gun ownership by those using marijuana. But the government has traditionally taken a hands-off approach. Since 2014, Congress has forbidden the Department of Justice from spending money to prosecute people who grow, sell, and use medical pot. The picture has become murkier under Trump, a Republican whose Attorney General Jeff Sessions has long denounced the drug. Sessions recently rescinded a Barack Obama-era policy that was deferential to states' permissive marijuana laws. Now, federal prosecutors in states that allow drug sales must decide whether to crack down on the marijuana trade. It's not clear what impact the new policy will have on gun owners who use cannabis as medicine, or even how many people fit the bill. Nor is it clear whether any people who use legally obtained medical marijuana have been prosecuted for owning a gun, although the existence of medical marijuana registries in some states, including Pennsylvania, has some patients concerned. More than 800,000 guns are sold or transferred in Pennsylvania annually, and more than 10,000 people in the state have signed up for medical marijuana. The registry change on Friday makes it much less likely the state's medical marijuana users will be flagged when going through a federal gun sales background check. A spokeswoman for Dave Freed, the new U.S. Attorney in Harrisburg, said only that criminal investigations and prosecutions, quote, will be based on a fair and transparent, fact-intensive inquiry of individual cases. State police said it's up to prosecutors to decide when to bring a case. The Justice Department's Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives has left no doubt where it stands. Last year, the ATF spelled out the marijuana prohibition in boldface type on gun purchase forms. Quote, any person who uses or is addicted to marijuana, regardless of whether his or her state has passed legalization authorizing marijuana use for medical purposes, ... is prohibited by federal law from possessing firearms or ammunition. ATF spokeswoman Janice L. Kemp said in an email to the Associated Press. A spokeswoman for the Justice Department referred questions about medical marijuana and guns enforcement to local federal prosecutors, and a recent memo from Sessions that does not specifically address this issue.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a Texas man charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of a Durango resident in May pleaded not guilty Friday. Michael Jones, age 20, also faces charges of robbery, conspiracy to commit robbery, menacing, tampering with evidence, and possession of a weapon by a previous offender. Jones and two friends, Kevin Goff, age 27, and Elise Rios, age 20, are suspected of traveling from Texas to rob someone of a large quantity of marijuana. On May 14th, they arranged to buy marijuana from someone at unit number 36 in the Lightner Creek Mobile Home Park, according to an arrest affidavit. Jones is suspected of pulling a gun while Goff grabbed the marijuana. According to the arrest affidavit, Durango resident David Gayton, age 34, lunged toward Jones when he pulled a gun. Jones shot him in the chest. The three suspects fled in a black Chevrolet Impala, but were later arrested by Colorado State Patrol in Chaffee County, about 200 miles northeast of Durango. Jones is scheduled for a 7-day jury trial to begin April 16th. And now let's take a look at the weather.
The national weather forecast from Raytheon Data and the National Weather Service is showing a deep low-pressure front stretching from Canada down into the top of Texas and curving straight back up to the Great Lakes, with a high pressure holding on over much of Canada and the area in the central U.S. Both behind that front and the forecast is the rain in the northwest, and along the front, snow is the expectation. Then ahead of the front, more snow and rain continues into the northeast. Rains and a snow-rain mix is on tap for much of Texas and neighboring states to the east, while a bit of rain still lingers off the tip of Florida. Regionally, it's fairly mild and was predicted last week that the National Weather Service says that a weak cold front will remain over the Front Range today. We'll see a few clouds over the Park and Gore ranges and maybe the Central Mountains thanks to the front, but not much else. Elsewhere, we'll see plenty of sunshine and some high clouds. Actually, we'll see sunshine and high clouds all week until the weekend, when we should see cooler temperatures move in with the potential for some area rain and snow. The DCTV 5-day outlook is fairly repetitive and as follows. Today, sunny with a high near 46. North-northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming west-northwest in the afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 22 degrees. North-northeast winds 5 to 10. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 44. East-northeast winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming west-southwest in the afternoon. Tuesday night, partly cloudy with a low around 25. South-southeast winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming east after midnight. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high again near around 46. Northeast winds around 5 miles an hour, becoming north-northwest in the afternoon. Wednesday night, partly cloudy with a low down around 25. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 49 degrees. Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low around 28. Friday, partly sunny with a high near 49, and then it's Friday night when we might see that slight chance of rain before 8 p.m., then a slight chance of rain and snow between 8 and 11 p.m., and a chance of snow after 11 p.m. Friday night. Mostly cloudy with a low down to 25. And also note that our local data is showing that snow to be possible at just 30% chance at this point. Saturday, there remains a chance right now for continued snow in the morning, mostly cloudy with a high near 38 degrees. And then Saturday night, mostly cloudy with a low a little colder, down around 20 degrees. And now, back to the news.
According to the Cortez Journal, a Colorado doctor says the state's heavy flu season is far from finished, but might be near its peak. The Denver Post reports that state epidemiologist Dr. Rachel Herlihy says the latest numbers suggest the season could peak sometime this month. Colorado has had 3 times its normal number of hospitalizations this flu season. Through last week, about 1,600 people in the state had been hospitalized with the flu. Experts say a nasty strain of influenza that vaccines have trouble targeting is the cause of widespread flu seasons nationwide. The flu generally kills a few dozen people in Colorado each year. The state does not track total flu deaths in real time, but Herlihy said no children have died from the flu so far this season.
The Journal reported on the Cortez bird count near record, being 81 species. Results are in from the latest Cortez bird count, and they reveal some surprises about the feathered folk of Montezuma County. On December 30th, about 30 birdwatching enthusiasts traveled all over Cortez and its surrounding area counting birds as part of the Audubon Society's annual data gathering event. Christmas bird counts, which are held in hundreds of towns around the country, are designed to track migration patterns and other information about North American birds. Participants in Cortez counted 8,941 birds and 81 species, according to organizer Jason St. Pierre. Those numbers represent a few new records for the Cortez count. St. Pierre said the number of birds spotted this year beat the previous record of 8,090 set in 2013. The number of species was also the second highest ever, he said, after last year's 83. Some familiar faces were missing from the count, though. St. Pierre reported this was the first year birdwatchers didn't spot a Lewis's woodpecker in more than a decade, and they also failed to find a mourning dove for the first time since 1992. He said he wasn't sure why those birds didn't come to Cortez this Christmas, although he noted that Lewis's woodpeckers seem more common in the area during fall. As far as the mourning dove, they're getting displaced by non-native species like the Eurasian collared dove, he said. Cortez bird watchers also saw an unusually low number of pine siskins, a species of finch. Only 14 of the usually common bird were spotted this year, but St. Pierre said its migration cycle makes its presence in Cortez unpredictable from year to year. The bird counters also saw a few new species this year. It was the first time a greater white-fronted goose or a Barrow's goldeneye had been seen in Cortez since the bird count started. St. Pierre reported 3 sightings of the former and 2 of the latter. Both are waterfowl that are usually more common in the west during summer. St. Pierre said he saw water-loving species of all kinds in large numbers this year. Cortez experienced record-breaking high temperatures in December, and on the day of the bird count, the area had not yet seen a major snowfall. Results from the Audubon Society's National Bird Count have not been tallied yet, but according to the Society's website, more than 23 million birds were counted in 903 places around the country. The next major bird watching event in Cortez will be the 2018 Ute Mountain Mesa Verde Birding Festival, held in May from May 9th through the 13th.
According to the Cortez Journal, it may seem incomprehensible, it being January, but bears are being spotted in southwest Colorado, prompting the city of Durango to extend an emergency ordinance that hits residents with stiffer fines for failing to secure their trash. It's not winter out there, and yearling males are being spotted in alleys of Durango, said City Councilor Sweetie Marbury. This is a proactive way to discourage people from making some poor choices for our community. Last year, a poor natural food cycle worsened by people in Bear Country leaving out food sources such as trash and bird feeders led to one of the most active and destructive years for bear-human conflicts in recent history. In 2017, 36 bears were euthanized in La Plata County after running into trouble, 25 of which were located in Durango city limits. Most of those bears got into trash, attacked livestock, or broke into vehicles. Trying to curb the problem, the city of Durango in September enacted an emergency ordinance that held tougher repercussions for residents within city limits that had a bear get into their trash. Specifically, the ordinance eliminated a courtesy warning and hit residents with a $100 fine for the first violation and $200 for subsequent violations. The ordinance was extended to mid-January after unusually warm temperatures in November. But nearing mid-January, winter still hasn't arrived in full force. According to National Weather Service data, the month of January is on track to be 5.4 degrees warmer than average, based on records that go back 30 years. As a result, bears are foregoing their deep sleep during the winter months and leaving their dens. Brian Peterson of Bear Smart Durango said he has received numerous reports of bears spotted this winter.
A report on the state of juniper trees from the Durango Herald also deals with some of these weather issues. We haven't had a winter yet. Across southwest Colorado, juniper trees may look like they're dying, but local foresters say the situation is a lot more complicated and puzzling than meets the eye. It's very strange, said Gretchen Fitzgerald, a forester for the U.S. Forest Service based out of Durango. No one is really sure what's going on, except that it seems to be potentially related to the weather. This December, foresters in the region started to notice junipers turning from green to brown, which began internal discussions about what may be afflicting the hardy tree that grows in high desert terrain and can live for hundreds of years. For starters, any chance of beetle kill or fungus-related diseases were immediately ruled out. Dan West, an entomologist with the Colorado State Forest Service, was traveling through Dolores and La Plata counties last month when he pulled off the road to inspect the junipers after he noticed the abnormality. He said, "It looks to me they're just struggling from the temperature fluctuations. It's been such a weird season." Southwest Colorado is home to two species of junipers, the Utah, which grows at elevations between 2,000 and 8,000 feet, and the Rocky Mountain at elevations between 5,000 and 7,000 feet. This discoloration, foresters said, tends to be occurring to both species at an elevation band of about 7,000 feet throughout southwest Colorado from Durango north to Gunnison. What's confusing foresters is that the junipers don't appear to be showing the usual signs that would indicate they're dying. And what's equally perplexing is that the juniper's ecological neighbor, the less drought-resistant pinyon tree, isn't showing any signs of stress. That's led researchers to believe that junipers are adapting to the early stages of extreme stress caused by drought conditions and wildly fluctuating daytime and overnight temperatures. Normally in the winter, junipers do turn a hue of purple as a result of the tree shutting down its system as a sort of a plant-induced hibernation to save resources and energy. This year, however, the trees appear to be turning a brownish orange, not seen in years past, which could be the result of warm daytime temperatures forcing the trees to continue to operate as if it were summer, said Todd Gardner of the U.S. Forest Service. Then overnight lows throw the tree systems out of whack. Local foresters agree that since this is the first time they are seeing this phenomenon, there hasn't been enough research into the color shift to to say this theory is definitive. While the stressed junipers have warranted attention from foresters, it's too early to say whether there will be serious ramifications, such as a massive die-off as a result of drought conditions and unusually warm temperatures. For now, they're taking a wait-and-see approach. If winter finally arrives and brings reliably cold temperatures and moisture, it's likely the trees will rebound in the spring, Fitzgerald said. It might be interesting if the officials also looked into the potential for higher levels of aluminum or other contaminants that may be descending onto our trees and ground. For example, Monsanto has been creating high aluminum tolerant new seeds for some specific reason that they must know about.
According to the Cortez Journal, first imposed in 2000, the threatened designation has interrupted numerous logging and road building projects on federal lands, frustrating industry groups and Western lawmakers. Some scientists and wildlife advocates have warned that climate change could reduce lynx habitat and the availability of its primary food source, snowshoe hares. Thursday's decision came after government biologists shortened their time span for considering climate change threats from 2100 to 2050 because of what they said were uncertainties in long-term climate models. An assessment by government biologists based on that shorter time span concluded lynx populations remain resilient and even have increased versus historical levels in parts of Colorado and Maine. Canada lynx are about the size of bobcats with huge paws to help them navigate deep snow. The animals also are found in Montana, Minnesota, Idaho, and Washington state.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings. February 2nd, there will be an introduction to QuickBooks hosted by the Southwest Colorado SBDC from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. that's held in Durango at their offices. One of the biggest challenges in starting and running a small business is dealing with the finances. Most small business owners are not accountants, but still need to understand how much money they're bringing in and how that money is spent. This seminar will introduce you to QuickBooks, the most popular small business accounting software on the market, and show you how it can help you manage your business and save time. There is a fee to attend, but there are some scholarships available as well. Go to their Facebook page at Southwest Colorado SBDC. SBDC is also hosting a 3-part series on custom online strategies and digital marketing. The speaker will be Tyler Rice, owner of Animus Marketing. The dates are January 26th, February 12th, and March 5th at 12 noon. Again, for more info on the SBDC group and their activities, visit them on Facebook or at sbdcfortlewis.org. And in Cortez, there will be an acting workshop and auditions held on January 18th at 6 p.m. and January 20th at 10 a.m. at the Sunflower Theater at KSJD. The Sunflower Troupe is looking for performers, designers, and crew for 2 productions, Reader's Theater Love Letters and The Butterfly's Evil Spell. For details, go to their website at sunflowertheater.org. And all of the happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us at dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. on each of those days. The weekday news shows are then replayed throughout the week as well.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook as well as that, DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.